Okay, the kickoff, the beginning to the CAF Confederations Cup group stages is almost underway, right? We're just a couple of days away. So remember, Kaizer Chiefs are actually set for a challenging test, in the CAF Confederations Cup, as they will actually face Egyptian club Al Masry SC, right? And I'm just gonna be giving you guys a couple of details about the North African Giants. You understand? The North African team, you know what I'm saying? So these are the kind of things that Kaizer Chiefs should also be aware of, and as well as the fans, you know what I'm saying, going into this particular encounter. So the CAF Confederation Group Stage game begins for Kaizer Chiefs this Saturday, as they will be traveling to Egypt for a high stakes encounter against Al Masry, right? So the match will actually take place at 8 o'clock, basically 6 p.m., right, at the Suez Stadium in the town of Suez, And then Amakosi's Group D also features two formidable sides, Egyptian giants Zamalek as well as Zesco United of Zambia, right? So Chiefs head into that showdown on the back of three consecutive wins in all competitions, right? Including that 4-1 impressive victory over Orbit College and as well as that impressive 3-1 victory over AS Simba in the previous round. You know what I mean? And Al Masry are also coming off three goalless draws and a 2-1 victory over Al Ittihad in the second round qualifiers of this particular event. You know what I mean? So as Chiefs actually aim to open their group phase account on a high, we there's a couple of things that we need to look at so that like fans can actually be aware of like what to expect in this particular game, especially considering the opponents Al Masry, right? So what do we know about Al Masry, right? Al Masry are actually known as the Green Eagles. They were actually founded in 1920. You know what I mean? In Port Said by Egyptian nationalists, and then they actually quickly became a symbol of local pride at a time when most clubs in the city were actually foreign owned. You know what I mean? So the name Al Masry literally means the Egyptian, reflecting, which is basically like a reflection of the club's identity and purpose. Despite never winning the Egyptian Premier League, the biggest success is actually the 1998 Egyptian Cup. You know what I'm saying? That is basically equivalent to the Nedbank Cup. That's the Nedbank Cup in that particular country. So the club's story also carries like tragedy, if you want me to put it like that. Because in 2012, Port Said Stadium disaster actually marked one of the darkest moments in Egyptian football when actually 74 fans lost their lives, during a bloody clash with Al Ali fans, and which basically forced Al Masry to actually withdraw from the following season. So their old stadium was later demolished and they now actually await a new home. So still the team has actually rebuilt itself in recent years, regularly finishing in the upper half of the table, and they've actually been doing that on a consistent basis. Okay. So you look at this thing, Ogo team, currently they're actually in fifth place in the Egyptian Premier League after like 5 wins, 5 draws, as well as 2 defeats. So last season they actually finished fourth behind the eventual champions Pyramid FC, Al Ali, as well as Zamalek. So ahead of like actually facing Kaizer Chiefs on Sunday, their last outing was a goalless draw against Al Ali on the 2nd of November. You know what I mean? And secondly, bro, if Nabi was actually on the touchline for Kaizer Chiefs, this would have been a clash of the Tunisian giants, the Tunisian tacticians, because the coach of Al Masry is actually Tunisian. He's actually from Nabi's country. You know what I'm saying? So it's Koki. Nabil Koki, if I'm pronouncing it right, he basically took over the club in July, this year, right? And he has actually got one trophy to his name, which was the Algerian League title with CR Belouizdad, in the 2022-2023 season. And his CV actually includes several stints with some of Tunisia's biggest clubs, which also include CS Sfaxien, it also includes Stade Tunisien, it also includes Sportif du Sahel, as well as Club Africain. You know what I mean? So it definitely tells you that this guy actually has got an incredible managerial portfolio, despite only winning one trophy. But it shows that he has actually been coaching, top clubs in North Africa, right? And again, the type of players that we need to look out for when it comes to like Al Masry, it includes the 27-year-old striker. You know what I'm saying? Salam Monsian. He is the Egyptian's Premier League top goal scorer with 5 goals in 11 games. So that is actually, it is actually a big doubt. You know what I mean? But look, this guy is actually facing like a hamstring injury. You know what I mean? So I don't even think he will actually be fit to actually partake in this particular encounter against Kaizer Chiefs. And also another player to watch from Al Masry is the Algerian attacking midfielder. Another player to watch is also the Algerian. You know what I'm saying? Abderrahim Degmoun, who actually has got like 5 goals and 2 assists in basically the league as well as the CAF Confederations Cup. And also a notable player that you also have to look out for at Al Masry is the 22-year-old central midfielder, Omar El Saili, who actually has got like, I think he has scored like 4 goals so far this season. If I'm correct, he has got 4 goals this season. So those are actually the danger men for this particular club. You know what I mean? And it's actually going to be a very tough encounter. But I see a situation where maybe Kaizer Chiefs will actually prevail in this one. But it's going to be a slight victory. Maybe 1-0 or 2-1. Slightly.